to our new episode of Tips and Tricks, and today we're going to talk about how to prep your mask so it doesn't fog up.
Hey, we're Ola and Martin, and together we're OMD, scuba diving instructors with 12 years of combined experience. Join us every week as we share part of our diving life, tips, tricks, dive site and gear reviews that we hope will inspire you.
But for now, gear up, subscribe and enjoy this episode of OMD. So what should we start with?
Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is, why does our mask fog up when we're going diving?
Because a lot of people don't really realize it. Yeah,
definitely. So basically what it is even though it looks like it, your glass isn't actually flat. It's got lots of little dimples in it, and that's where the condensation all comes from, and also the surface temperature of the glass and the surface temperature of your face and head, basically. So the combination of both, so when you put it on, it's going to create condensation, and that's what fogs up your mask.
Yep, exactly.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is, what do we actually do when we get a new mask to help stop this fogging?
Yeah, well, when we buy a new mask, I guess probably the first thing we do is to put the strap on. And then how to prep our mask the way that it gets easier and easier, because we all know that the new mask will fog up, or we're expecting it, but there are a lot of things that can actually prevent it, at least at some point in some stage. Right, yeah, so my personal favorite one is to put the toothpaste on the whole surface of the glass from inside, okay, because it's the thicker it goes, the better. Leave it as long as possible, which means days, not hours, days. Leave it because the fluoride in the toothpaste will basically eat out the layer that is being put on the glass when it's being produced. Yep.
That layer's just a protective layer, by the way, just to
Yes.
stop it from getting scratched.
Exactly.
My favourite way is one that I wouldn't really recommend for anyone. I would ask your dive guide or instructor or someone to do this for you, is to actually use a lighter and burn off the actual film itself. What you do is you hold the mask upside down, light the lighter, and then put it in, and then just burn it in the middle, and then just make small circles. But you've got to be very careful of the silicone, because obviously you're not covered if you actually catch the silicone. This is why I would ask your instructor or someone experienced in doing this to do it for you. And the same on the other side. So you're starting in the middle and working your way outwards, so that at least if there is anything left around the edges, you've still got plenty of vision to be able to actually see out of your mask.
Yeah.
There is a third one, isn't there?
Yes.
That we've both heard about in our...
Yes. Although we've never tried it.
We've never tried it.
No.
But judging by other television programs and things, it probably actually is true.
Yeah.
And that is...
Coca-cola.
Coca-cola, yeah. So putting Coca-cola, so putting your mask so it's face down, and putting enough Coca-Cola in the mask so that it covers the actual glass itself, and then leaving it overnight is supposedly going to destroy just that protective layer on the mask.
Yeah.
I would recommend obviously the same after the toothpaste, and definitely with the burning. With the burning, use a dry bit of tissue and rub it off, rub all the black marks off the glass, and then wash it. And how do you take what's the best way of taking the toothpaste off?
Just wash it off.
Just wash it off?
Just wash it off.
Okay.
It just dissolves in water, so yeah, wash it off. If any of you tried the Coca-Cola way, please let us know in a comment, and
definitely really curious whether that works.
We'll definitely try it out on the next time we have a new mask.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Right, so we've prepped it right after buying it. Yeah, and it's time to go diving. So yay. Right, so few things that will actually work when we go diving. First of all, well, especially I would say men, because men tend to sweat more in the hot tropical climate that that we are in, because the hot face will basically create the fogging up. So if you're ready to put your mask on, the first thing you do is you just put your face in the water to cool down, and then once you're ready, put the mask on.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
A lot of like bigger boats, but a lot of the specific dive boats, they'll have like a water jet or something for you to use to spray your face with. If you're on a rib, like when we go on the rib, I literally lean over the side just before I put my BCD on, and just splash as much water on my face as I can to cool it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really essential parts. People don't seem to realise like cooling the face first is such a massive part of it.
Yeah, and I guess it's because also like if you're not diving on a regular basis and you're a recreational diver, you do it on holiday, which means you're probably doing it in a hot climate. It's normal that you will be sweating.
Yeah.
So, try to relax and then just cool your face and then put the mask on.
And another one I've come across a lot over the years is sunscreen. A lot of people, like especially if you've got a long hour or two out on a boat or something like that, obviously everyone wants to wear sunscreen to protect yourself from the hot sun, but they don't realise that actually blocks your pores up as well. So what I always tell my divers in my briefing is to make sure that they wash as much of the sun cream off once we get down to the dive deck, or a minute or two before we start gearing up, just so that unblocks the pores, and it will help stop the fogging up as well. So two top tips for it there.
And these are like typical pre-dive things. However, I wanted to mention also with all sorts of spray or different things that you can use before to prep your mask.
Of course,
so I'm personally old school, so I would say spit is my way of doing it.
Me too.
Yeah
100%.
However, we're in the 21st century. Everybody likes gadgets and everything and other inventions that we can use, which is also more sanitary. And also for the COVID reasons, I would say it might be also a better option as long as you have space and time to do it. I do a homemade spray, anti-fogging spray, which is basically a lot of water and few drops of dish soap. Simple as that.
A couple of places that I've worked in over the year, a couple of dive centres and dive boats, what they do is they use, we're not sponsored by the way, so when I say the company's name, it's just because what we used was the No Tears Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. Obviously as well, which especially now, like you said, with the COVID situation, a lot more sanitary. So something like that will work, and
Any
I think
sort of detergent, I would say.
any kind of
Cleaning
detergent.
detergent.
Because what that does is, like I said at the beginning, was the mask isn't actually flat, and what we need it to do is we need to cover them little dimples so that it's more
Flatten the surface.
Flatten the surface of it, and then that way that's going to help. And that's why spit is so easily used. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend spitting in a hired mask.
No.
And one thing that somebody did say to me, my hairdresser the other day, didn't she?
Yes.
That when she was out diving, and this is absolutely vile, that her dive guide took her mask and spat in her mask for her, which
Please don't do it.
Yeah.
No.
Do not let anyone else spit in your mask. Please.
No.
It's absolutely revolting.
Yeah.
So yeah, look after your own mask. And also, like Ola says, there's these little spray bottles you can buy now, but you can do it a lot cheaper.
Exactly. Just
for
do it
home.
yourself and at home.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're actually diving, and it also happens that the mask is fogging up underwater. The easiest way is just to crack open your mask a little bit. So I would lift the silicone and then let few drops in, so then you can move your face, tilt it to the right, left, up and down, so the water actually clears it from inside. Then you can either leave it or obviously clear the mask, and then keep on repeating every time you need it.
Yeah. Just remember with that one as well to not do it in an upright position. Make sure your head is facing downwards. Otherwise, you're going to be just shaking the glass and just clearing this little tiny bit at the bottom. So make sure you're facing down, wrinkle it, swish it around, and then clear, or just like Ola says, just leave a little bit in, and you can just keep doing it every
Yeah,
every now
it's a
and again.
temporary solution,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah?
Until you get back from your dive, and you can either use one of the methods that we've
Yeah.
just spoken about earlier, for sure. And the last one is to not put your mask on your head at any point. Like we've said it in the last tips and tricks about people losing their masks.
Yes.
That have been with us. And also remember that your head is the hottest part of your body, and it releases the most heat.
A lot of heat, yeah.
So
20% of heat comes through your head.
So make sure if you're putting your mask up here, it's just going to get hotter and hotter, and as well direct sunlight.
Yeah.
So always have your mask around your neck, then it's not getting any heat. And also the water, if you're in the water already, the water will be like keeping it a bit more clear as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, never put your mask on your forehead for obviously losing it and for the heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So these were our tips and tricks on how to prepare your mask and make it not to fog up.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any other ideas, please leave them in the comments.
Yeah, definitely.
If you have anything you would like us to talk about the gear, or any tips and tricks on other things, leave a comment please below.
And remember to subscribe, and we'll see you all next week for tips and tricks. Ciao.
See ya.